Hi guys, here we go. This is the last third. I had some technical issues, which is why I already have the answers written here, but that's okay. I'll just go through it anyway, and then um, yeah, no sense in me deleting this and then typing the same thing again. So let me just explain the last thing we're doing. We're talking about quartiles and box plots. Box plots are also called box and whisker plots. You might have seen that in your high school or intermediate school. First of all, what are quartiles? Quartiles, they're kind of like what they sound like. They divide your data into quarters. So quartile one or Q1, it would be the median of the first half of your data. If you think about it, the median of your first half, that's going to put you right where the first quarter is, right in the smack dab where that first quarter mark ends or starts. Ends or starts, kind of weird way of saying it. I'll draw a picture so you know what I'm talking about. Quartile two, that's Q2, also called Q2. It's the median. And in fact, if I scroll up to the top of the page where we first learned about median, we saw that it did say that, right? It said it's called quartile two sometimes, or Q2. That's the second quarter, right? Right in the middle. And then quartile three or Q3, that's just the median of the second half. If you think about what's in the middle of the second half, that would be the third quarter mark, right? 3/4 mark. Now, those three things plus two more components, the minimum and the maximum, together, those things form what we sometimes refer to in statistics as the 5-number summary. You can Google it or read like the Wikipedia page about it. 5-number summary is these five things: the minimum, Q1, Q2, Q3, and the maximum. And once we have those things, we kind of have like an overview of our data in segments. And we can even visualize that using what's called a box plot. What's a box plot? Rather than me explaining it to you without any visuals, I'm going to actually take some time to draw this out in the next two questions, number 6 and 7. But before we do that, let's just practice finding Q1, Q2, Q3. And yeah. So what I'm going to do for this first question, I'm going to find Q1, Q2, 3 just by looking at the data. So here's my data. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we know already how to find the median, right? There's 7 things. That means this guy right here, the fourth item, would be smack dab in the middle. There's 3 to the left, 3 to the right. So that makes the median 6. Now this is the middle number. That means the first half would be these guys, 3, 5, 5, right? And then so I'm looking to the left to divide my numbers into a nice half. And looking at those guys, the middle number is the 5. Okay, on the right side, I've got 9, 13, and 20, right? And then looking at those guys, half in the mid, right in the middle would be the 13. Now there's some disagreement of whether you should include the 6 or not in that. And the rule we're gonna follow is if there's a center number, then ignore that and move to everything to the right, and then calculate the median like that. Okay, so here I have the same thing, right? Q1 is 5, that's the first quartile. Q2 is 6, and Q3 was 13. The minimum is 3, that's the smallest number. Maximum is 20, that's the biggest number. Now let's do the same thing using technology. You go to the Google Sheet stats that I shared with you guys, and I just input those numbers on the left into the summary stats page. 3, 5, 5, 6, 9, 13, and 20. Something magical happens. Here I've got quartile 1, quartile 2. Oops, sorry. And quartile 3 right there. Same numbers, yeah? You also get the minimum and maximum, and they're grouped this way for a reason. That is the 5-number summary right there. And you can do the same thing for that last data set. So let me take those numbers in: 10, 14, 15, 18, 23, 27. Okay, and then you got quartile 1 is 14, median is 16.5, quartile 2 is 23. I'm sorry, quartile 3 is 23. And you get the minimum and maximum as well. So that's the 5-number summary right there. 3 quartiles plus the min and max. And I just copied it down here. Okay, just one more time to look at this time. So this time I have only 6 things, right? Which means the median is actually right here in the center. Yeah, and since it's halfway between 15 and 18, which is why we get 16.5 as the median or quartile 2. Once you take that center value out, the 16.5, that means everything to the left would be the first quartile, and then you take the median of that to get the 14, right? You take the median of the things on the right to get the 23 as the quartile 3. Okay, so now that we have the numbers, let's see what the box and whisker plot or the box plot looks like. Box and whisker plot, box plot, those are two names for the same thing. Okay, guys, so I took the liberty of just copying down the numbers from the previous page that I had calculated already. I also promised you guys I was going to draw you a picture, yeah? So real fast, let's just draw a quick visualization of the quartiles before I get into the box plot, okay? So quartiles, think about this as being your data set. Here's the smallest value. Here's the largest value. The median would be, you could think of the median as being the center, right? And then the first quartile would be the first quarter. And then the third quartile would be this one. So you'd have like basically the Q1, Q2, and Q3. Now, that's the visualization ideally of your data. But in actual practice, sometimes things are they're not always exactly spaced out evenly like that, right? Because sometimes your data could be top heavy or bottom heavy. So what we actually do to represent what the data spread is we make something called the box plot. And what a box plot is, first of all, you start with a number line on the bottom of it. And then what you want to do is plot these 5 numbers basically along the number line. We're going to actually write it above the number line. So I'm going to make a note. Okay, my smallest number is 3 and my biggest number is 20. That means I should have basically my numbers should go from a little below that to a little above that. So I'm going to start at 0 right here. And then let's go up to 25 right here then. And everything kind of evenly spaced. Yeah. So here's the 0. And let's just go by increments of 5 then. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Okay, so I was off. Let's make that to 25. Okay, so that's my number line. And if I want this to be more accurate, and I can actually put the individual ticks. So it'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. That part is that actual labeling is optional. Okay, so now let's put dots above the line for the values that I have, the 5 values. So the minimum would be at 3. That's 1, 2, 3, right here. That's the first dot. Second one would be at 5. That's right here. This is 5, right? So that's 5 right there. And then at 6 is right next to 5. And then this is 10. Oops. Here's 10. This is 15. That means 13 would be right around here. And then last number is 20. 20 is right here. Okay, so I've got the 5 numbers plotted, right? I'm just going to draw a line straight through them. That's going to form what we call like the whiskers. Actually, no, not exactly. The whiskers are going to come after. So that's the line portion of it. And then to make the box, I'm just going to draw a box connecting the 3 center numbers like this. It doesn't recognize that I'm trying to draw a box here. Rectangle, come on. There you go. Let me just size it perfectly. Okay. So there's a box part, and then you draw one extra line right where the median is. Okay. And there's your box and whisker plot. Why is it called a box and whisker plot or box plot? Box plot because this part is a box. And then whiskers because these parts out here, they sort of look like whiskers, I guess, but that's where the name comes from. Okay, so there it is. And if you want, you can be more specific and label the numbers that you got there. So this is 3. Oops. This was 3. That was 5. This is 6 in the median. This is 13, and that is 20. Just to make sure there's no confusion. Note that the median, which is the center number, is not really in the center exactly, right? If you look at the way our data is. I mean, it's the center in one sense. If you were to line up the numbers, it's the number that's in the middle. But as far as where the actual numbers occur, it's not really in the middle of the overall picture. But yeah, that gives you the idea of how the data is distributed. Okay, and number 7, try it on your own first. And once you've tried it, then you can take a look at my answer here. Draw the same kind of number line. Make sure I have 10 somewhere. Start a little below 10, so we'll start at 5. Go by 5s again. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. No, that's enough, actually. Oh, maybe I should space those wider. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So here's 30. Okay, in my number line, everything's evenly spaced. My 10 is my first value. 14 is Q2. Q3 is 16.5. That's right about here somewhere. Q3 is 23. It's right about there. And then the maximum is 27. That's right about there. I'm just kind of eyeballing it. You can use like an actual like ruler or something if you want to be more exact. I'm just sketching it right now. Okay, so there's my 5 numbers on a line. Connect the center 3 with the box. Come on. Can't you see that I'm trying to draw a box? Okay, there you go. And there it is. Oh, it's done already. Except for the labels. Let's make the labels. So this is 10. This would be 14 Q2. Q1, I mean. Q1 is 14. Q2 would be 16.5. That's the median, right? Q3 is 23, and then the max is 27. And then if you want, you can make it nice and shade the center too. I think like when you're doing the homework, when you're choosing one, they always like to shade the box. That's optional step here. Ooh, looks nice. Oh, let's pick a different color. Okay, sorry, I'm wasting your time, guys. You guys can turn the video off now. We're done. Okay, thanks, guys. Been a pleasure. We're almost done with the whole semester. We're only gonna do like one more section after this one. So yeah, have a great day. I will see you next time. If I can stop this video recording.